Another example of intention and expectations, when I was a director at a play years ago, I came up with a design that I wanted the set to look like, and it's what I expected. This is what I expected, right?
It's what you've seen in your head, in your imagination.
Reading the
Yeah.
script, going over the roles, and seeing what the setting is going to be like, and visualizing that. And I went to the set design folks, like, here's what I'm expecting. This is what I expected. This is the best that I came up with. This is what I thought, and this is what I wanted. And then I did something different, because most of the time when I help to set the design for the stage, like, it was what I wanted. In this case, in that play, I stressed to the set design what I wanted, but I opened it up, like, the intention for you guys to operate is add to this, add to it, and make it what it is that you either add to it or take away. The intention is to have a phenomenal set. My expectation of what a phenomenal set looked like was blazoned in my thoughts and my vision, and I shared it with them. But when we agreed to operate from a place of intention based on what I came up with, my expectations, bro, they exceeded what that set looked like. In fact, faculty would walk by the stage and would look at the space, and they're like, holy cow, we have never seen this space utilized like this. It's amazing. And it was amazing. Like, I could have never come up with the ideas that these guys came up with. And it just illustrated for me, like, that there is that difference of operating from place of intention and expectation.
Yeah.
Because sometimes with expectations, we place these expectations on ourselves, and we miss the other magical things that could happen, that could potentially happen.
Yeah. I feel that with intentions and expectations, there's this thing where you kind of really have to find out what you're really good at. Find out your talent level. Right? If you have a huge expectation of winning a championship in whatever, right? Could be tennis, could be ping pong, whatever sport, or poker, whatever, right? Your expectations are high, but you also got to realize your talents, right? What you're good at.
Yeah. And that's a nuanced thing too. Like, again, part of what expectations are as well is basing those expectations on our experience. So if you're a professional golf player, there are certain expectations that you already know that you're capable of. So it's the times when you go beyond what you're expecting in those types of situations, in your goal setting. There's expectations that you already have that you can achieve. When you're resetting those goals, what I would suggest to that professional player is, like, listen, you've been operating from a place of expectation and you've done it well, right? It's gotten you from point A to point B. Would note that, like, what are the resistance? What are the experiences that you had in that? How much of that was a negative experience for you? And then, as it pertains to your new goal, try operating from a place of intentionality, being more intentional in your goals. Understand what the goal is, understand what your mission statement is, understand what your North Star is, but don't get attached to the result. Don't get attached to how you're going to get there.
Yeah.
Just trust that you're going to get there. Allow yourself to stay in the moment, and then see what comes up for you. See if there's less resistance. It's a way to practice the dualities of intentionality and expectations. And if you find that you're in a situation where you are experiencing less resistance, less negative energy, then that's information for you to consider with more weight, like when you set your goals for something else.
Yeah.
Right. And I would suggest that actually for anybody and everybody. Like, for those of you who are on that personal journey right now, think about in your everyday life where you're setting expectations on yourself, and how you can move from expectations to intentions, and start to operate from there. Again, ask the same questions. Are these expectations reasonable? Is it something that I want to do? Is it in my alignment? And then once you get clarity on that, move into intentionality and operate from a place of, okay, I understand where my North Star is. How do I want to move forward with
Yeah.
this? How do I want to move from point A to point B without placing those expectations on myself? The Cliff Note version of it is really, and you and I have had this conversation too. Anytime we've set up expectations for ourselves, a lot of times we get disappointed, right? Because there's like, okay, meet me at the coffee shop, 9 o'clock. That's what we agreed upon. That's the expectation. You know,
Yeah.
person shows up 5-10 minutes late. Bro, where the fuck have you been? Like that's an expectation. That's a small example.
Yeah.
But those small things happen throughout the day. And then if those things are happening throughout the day, you get to realize, wow, how much of these expectations have really led to some emotional charge throughout my day? How can I be more effective and efficient the next day? Maybe operating from a place of intentionality.
You know, what comes to mind is like when you said that, like maybe at the coffee shop at 9 a.m., depending where you live. Like you live in LA, I live in the Bay Area. They always say in LA, tack on another 20 minutes on what time you should actually be there, right? Because of traffic.
Yeah.
Right. So 9 o'clock, 9 a.m., meet me at the coffee shop means you're leaving at what time in LA?
Yeah, it depends.
Right?
Yeah, it depends. But most of the time, if I'm asking someone to meet me at the coffee shop, it's right next to it's in the neighborhood. It's in the neighborhood.
But it's still going to take you 20 minutes to get there.
Yeah, could take me 20 minutes.
But I mean, that's the point of, if you know that, you are intentionally maneuvering around that, right? Because you got to meet somebody at 9 a.m. So it takes a little longer to get there from where you're at. You're going to do things that are going to make you smile, make you happy.
Yeah.
Right. Take the different routes that you're not stuck in traffic. It's going to upset you. Things like that. So it really is like on a day-to-day basis. It's like, it really is navigating towards happiness.
It is.
Yeah.
It just allows for less resistance. Again, I'm not saying that you should do this or that. What I am offering and suggesting pretty fervently is like, look at the possibility of operating from intention as opposed to operating from expectation, and really see how much resistance that you don't experience. Like that's another level of being self-aware.
Yeah. I think with that self-aware, you're allowed to realize what kind of talents you do have. Right. And that comes to experience, like trying different things.
And trying it from a different lens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Trying, and then also even looking at things differently, holding things differently.
Just the other day, we talked about a round of golf. Like I'm a weekend golfer. Like I'll hit over 100 all day long. But if I have expectations, like, you know what, I want to get under 100 for this round of golf. Those are my expectations. Now, if I go at it hole to hole with the intention that I'm going to hit my expectations, that's when I maneuver around it. Is that kind of like?
Yeah, there's definitely, you can have the expectation, like, I'm going to shoot under 100, or just be intentional that, you know what? Because at the end of the day, what you really want is to enjoy your day. Like
Hold on, let me stop you, man. Come on, man. I want to get my personal best.
would that really not help you to enjoy your day?
99, I would really enjoy my round of golf.
Exactly. So then maybe the tweak in that is just enjoy your day, enjoy the round of golf.
There you go.
And then what happens? You know what I mean? If you're not so much attached to the result, you're not beating yourself up because you flopped one shot. You know what I mean?
Or I broke my putter because I messed up that one shot. Wrapped it around a tree.
Yeah. Well, if
I got a 1-on-1.
Yeah.
But less a putter.
Yeah. And if you broke the putter, then that's a whole nother conversation that we get to have. Like, what's going on there?
You get to peel my onion on that one.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like there's ways, and that's what we offer with these tools is an opportunity for you to play around with the different ways you can apply these tools,
Yeah.
and challenge the way you hold things so that you could potentially hold it differently, so that it doesn't require any emotional charge on it,
Got
or
it.
it can help to mitigate the emotional charge.
All right, man. Summarize intention and expectations.
Intentions and expectations, the cliff note versions of that. And invite everybody else to listen to intention versus expectations, that episode.
That's the difference. Yep.
But it's intention and expectations. Expectations, you are attached to a result, and how you get there has potential to set you up for disappointment.
Mm.
Intentionality allows you to not be attached to the results or how you get there. It may actually even allow you to exceed your expectations. It allows you more possibilities. It allows you less resistance because you're not attached to any result. It allows you more freedom, flow, and grace. That would be the cliff note versions of intentions and expectations. The distinction between this episode and the last episode is that, in the last episode about intentions versus expectations, it's not versus, it's not an either or. Whereas intentionality and expectations in this episode, it's more of a both and, with it, with a gentle nudge of like, really look at your being intentional.
Yeah.
Because let's be clear, in the sense of, for the folks that are listening, I'm sure 90% of them and 90% of their time is spent operating from a place of expectation. Take this opportunity, because you've just been introduced to new information, to make different choices and operate from a place of intentionality, and see how that works for you. See if there's less resistance. See if there's less of emotional charge. See if it allows you to be more in alignment with your mission statement or your North Star. Because again, part of what we're offering is people to navigate towards happiness with a little bit ease, flow, and grace.
Got it. All right, man. Quote of the day.
Oh, quote of the day. We have talked about intention and expectations.
Oh, by the way, thanks for evolving regarding this.
Oh, yes. Yes. Yeah, no, that's a great point, because again, that's the other point that I do want to stress as well to people, that even as in personal development and even as coaches, our ways of being evolve, and we get to allow ourselves to do that. And in the act of doing that, you definitely do find a little bit more ease, flow, and grace in your ways of being.
We get better at what we do.
And again, it requires a lot of self-awareness, being super honest with ourselves, and being open to that information, and embracing all of who we are. So the quote then, in this self-reflection: you can lie to me, but don't lie to yourself.
Damn.
Does that get you? Does that get the melon?
You got me thinking, man. I must lie to myself every day.
For some of us, that's a true story, and that statement invites us to really take a look at it on a deeper level, and see, where am I lying to myself? Am I lying to myself about the expectations I'm placing? Are they realistic? Are they in my alignment? Or am I doing it because that's what others are expecting of me? Be real with yourself.
Be honest.
Yeah. And then operate from a place of intention if it is so required.
All right, man. Is that a who dang?
That's a who dang if everybody wants to feel that. Like if they're feeling like who dang.
Who dang, yeah, that's a who dang, man, because it's tough to be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
you know, because you
It,
want to look a certain way. You know what I mean?
exactly,
Yeah.
because who wants to look at ourselves in a bad light? But what I'll offer in saying is that you muster up the courage and bravery to look at yourself in that light and be vulnerable with yourself. Ooh, dang, there's a lot of power in that. Like
Mm,
there's a lot of power
yeah.
in that. You're gonna start to see things, and it'll sting for a little bit. But when you work through that and start to hold it differently and start to see how, oh shit, this is happening for me, you'll start to see growth spurts start to happen. And
Got it.
at the
Got
end
it.
of the day, that's what we want to do, right?
Yeah. Navigate towards happiness, man.
That's what I'm saying.
That's all it is. Thank you for listening to the Artistry in Life podcast. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.